Okay, I'm gonna start this sew along for the top view A of my summer pattern. It's a boat neck tank top, and then it has spaghetti straps in the back, and it also has a shelf bra. So this one is super easy. I've already cut out all my pieces, so let's move on to the first step. Let's see. Okay, so the first step is just to ease stitch this side front between the notches. And you can see right here. So you're just gonna do an ease stitch, and then you'll lightly ease it in. And then we'll move on to step 2 right after, which is you're gonna pin the front and back at right sides together, matching notches, and then adjust the ease right there so that it fits along the side. So I will go do an ease stitch, and then I'll bring it over and show you how we'll gather the sides to make it fit. Okay, so I have ease stitched the front bodice, and you can see right here, just in between the notches, and I used it's just a long stitch length, so I used a 4.5, and then we're just gonna gather it just a little bit. I don't think you need to gather this one too much. So now that I've gathered it a little bit, we're gonna take the back bodice and lay it on top. Okay, so I've put it right sides together and ease stitched the front just slightly and until the side seams match up. And now I'm just gonna pin the side seams. And then we're gonna sew it, the side seams at 5/8 inch. And you're gonna either wanna use your overlocker so that it can stretch, or a zigzag stitch. I'm using stretchy thread. It's Ceraflex thread. It stretches, so I'm just gonna use a regular straight stitch. But if you're using regular thread, make sure to use the lightning stitch or a zigzag stitch, and then or your overlocker. So I will go sew the side seams and be right back. Okay, I sewed the side seams at 5/8 inch, both side seams. And now we're gonna do the straps. We're gonna fold them. We're gonna fold them in half lengthwise and sew at a 1/4 inch side, or 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I will go sew both of these and then be right back. Okay, I've sewn both shoulder straps at 1/4 inch. I'm gonna trim the seam allowance down just a little bit, and then we're gonna turn it right sides out. I'm gonna use a loop turner to turn the straps. So first I will trim them a little bit. Since it's 1/4 inch, I'm just gonna do a little bit so that it doesn't rip. And now I'm gonna use my loop turner. You can also use a safety pin or whatever your favorite method is. Loop turners, I think, are the easiest way, and these are really affordable. So there's one strap. And there's the other one. All right. And then I'll go press these straps in half and then be right back. Okay, I've pressed the straps, and now we're gonna move on to the bralette, or the facing. Okay, so we'll get the front and the back, and we're gonna put it right sides together, and we're gonna sew the side seams at 5/8 inch. Okay, I've sewn the bralette, or the facing, on the side seams at 5/8 inch. Okay, now we're gonna add elastic to the bralette, and you have an elastic guide. You'll cut the elastic to that length. You can also wrap it under your bust and see what length you want it. And so now we're gonna take the elastic and lay it over the edge, or the bottom edge, and overlap the seam allowance. We'll pin it. So I'm pinning both edges to this side, overlapping it before pinning any of the rest, because you're going to stretch the elastic slightly while you sew it on. So then you can figure out where the other side seam is by pulling it flat like this, and then you'll attach that side to the other side. We'll pin it. And then you can get this is called quartering. So then fold it this way, and you can mark the center, and then you'll match that up. So now we're gonna go sew it along the bottom, and you're gonna stretch it to fit the bottom. Make sure you use a stretch stitch, a zigzag stitch, or your lightning bolt stitch. So I will go sew this on, and then we're just gonna stretch it to fit and be right back. Okay, so as you sew the elastic on, you're gonna hold the back. So you'll kind of hold the front and the back, and then as you sew, you'll stretch the elastic. You'll just pull it a little, but then you'll hold the back so that it stays put. And you're just gonna stitch it close to the edge. And this is to the wrong side of the fabric that we're sewing it. Okay. And if you hold it at the side seam and pull it, you can kind of see how much it needs to stretch. And now that we've sewn the elastic all the way around, we're going to fold it towards the wrong side of the fabric. So you're going to turn it towards the wrong side, and then we're going to stitch it again close to this edge. So you can see from this side, and then the inside, the wrong side, and that's the right side. So we've sewn the elastic on. Okay, so this is how the bralette, I believe they call it the stay, looks with the elastic. And now we're already almost done. We're gonna attach the straps. I kind of skipped a step, but I just did it out of order. Now we're going to attach the straps to the main part of the bodice. So we'll turn it right sides out. We'll get the top right here. And we're gonna, you'll place it in the middle. And then there should be 2 dots that you'll be placing it in between. And I just like the the seam to be on the outside, so put that there, that there. And we'll just pin it. Like that. And then we're gonna baste it at the top. And then we're going to attach the bralette to the main bodice. So I will go baste it and then we'll attach these two. Okay, so I've attached the straps. And then we're going to attach the stay. So I'll flip this bralette inside out. And then I'll have the main bodice right sides out. So we're gonna slip the bralette over it so it's right sides together. And we're gonna match up the top and we'll pin it. This is a really, really fast sew. And then we'll just make sure that we're matching up the side seams. Okay, so we're gonna stitch all the way around the neckline and the underarm and the back, but where you have marked for your straps on the back, you're gonna leave that open. We're gonna slip the straps in through that hole. So you're gonna sew all the way around, leaving both sides on the back for the strap open. Okay, so I've sewn all the way around the neckline, the underarm, and the back, and I left a little spot for the strap. So I'm going to trim down this seam allowance. We're going to flip it right sides out. And you can pull the straps. Flip the back. And then now we're going to take, so now that it's flipped towards the right side out, we're going to take the straps, so you can see it's flipped right side out. The facing is in. I haven't pressed it yet. But we're going to take the straps and enter them into the holes. And you might want to baste this step to make sure that the straps are the right length. Okay. So make sure the strap isn't twisted, and then you're going to do the other side. Stick it through the hole. Then we're going to just flip this up. And then we'll stitch this down. So yeah, you can baste it first and then try it on and check this strap lengths. So I will go sew this down and then be right back. Okay, so I've stitched both straps in the back. Now you can flip it right sides out and try it on, make sure your straps are right. I'm gonna go press it, and then all we need to do is hem it. Oh, and also we're gonna understitch the neckline, but I will go press it and be right back. Okay, I tried it on. I like the strap length, and I've pressed it all. And now I'm gonna understitch the neckline and the armholes. We're gonna understitch all the way around. So understitching, we're gonna take the seam allowance for the neckline and the underarm and the back, and we're gonna stitch it to the lining side. So we'll do a line of stitching close to the seam line. And I love the Seriflex thread for this because I don't have to use a zigzag. I can use a straight stitch. So I will go do that and be right back, and then we'll move on to hemming the top. Okay, understitched the neckline and the armhole. You can see that I stitched a line of stitching on the bralette side as close to the seam line, and it's holding the seam allowance towards the lining. I did that all the way around, and now all we have to do is hem the top, and we're going to fold it up. We're going to do a narrow hem that's 5/8 inch. So we're going to fold it a little bit and fold it again. And so I will go hem the top, and then I will show you it on my dress form.